Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another matchup from the Litany League. This is the Losers Bracket Finals, and this is a matchup between Orange and ABC, and with me is a very special guest. You may know him from some places around the internet, but I gotta show you, he's not really that big of a deal, but anyway, what's up, dude?
I'm doing good.
That was very illuminating, very enlightening, and 10 out of 10 would hear that again, because that was profound as fuck.
That's how I roll, man.
Anyway, gonna unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause, and this is a matchup between ABC Winter's team and NeoEs.Orange. And now this is, I think, one of the first league matches that Winter's team participated in. All the other leagues, like the Ghostly League, the recent Southeast Asian League that I can't honestly remember for the life of me, these happened after this match. So I'm not actually sure how well Winter's team will perform, but I think most of his teams are former Han players, except for Ling. I'm not too sure. I mean, you've hung out with Beyond the Summit a bit more, so do you have any more insight on Winter's team?
Yes. There's Ling, there is TFG, there's Winter, and the last two is former Han players. I think one of them is Han Trash Pro. Not sure. That's the tag that he used. Han Trash Pro, Han Pro Trash. I don't even know what the last one is. And this is just a rumor. I'm not sure that Winter's team may or may not be signed very soon if they're not already signed.
Yeah, keep in mind this is again one of their first performances in the league, and this isn't really the best league. It's the grand prize was an astounding total of something like 50 treasure keys. So,
Dude, I'll play for 50 treasury keys.
yeah, and I
Shoot.
mean a lot of really strong teams like MSI UGT. I mean, top Filipino team. The only major Southeast Asian team who didn't sign up was Zenith because they apparently have better things to do with their time than sign up for random leagues. But this is a pretty high-profile match in the losers bracket, and actually I haven't seen Orange make any mistakes in this tournament, so I'm actually surprised to see him in the losers bracket. But anyway, picks and bans are going on, and we're not going to see a Wisp pick or a ban most likely because Southeast Asians and Asians in general have a lot of disrespect for the Wisp.
Yeah, I don't think they use that hero too often. Perhaps due to the weaker lane stage at Wisp. I mean, Wisp is not even that bad in the lane stage. It just takes a special set of requirements to actually make him good. Perhaps
Yeah, you have to be Luminous
Chinese.
in order to make him good.
Yes, that's one of the requirements. But we'll see if there's gonna be Wisp this game. Darkseer is gonna be the first pickup here. We don't see any Templar Assassin either, which I thought would be a little bit more popular in the Asian scene, but so far not being picked up first.
It depends. TA is sort of similar to the Western scene, but
No, I haven't seen her in Euro games for a long time.
well, she's a very, very infrequent pickup in the, I guess, the Eastern or the Southeast Asian scene. I was going to see Rubik and probably, oh god, I can't even remember who could be next. Maybe Shadow Demon, because Orange. Let me tell you something. In these games I've watched, Net has played one of the best Shadow Demons I've ever seen, but they're going to pick up Queen of Pain instead.
Yep, Green Pain, one of the best snowball heroes, could kind of put the game out of reach if you're not very careful. Give you late game insurance because she could get a quick snipe of ice. A lot of utility. I mean, she picks up a lot of different items. Orchid is a very rising and popular item. We've seen Necro Book. I mean, this is going back a couple years. And of course, if she wants to team fight very badly, BKB is there as well. So one a hero that could pick up items very quickly thanks to her flash farming spells, and a high impact hero with those first or second item being picked up. So pretty good pick here for Orange so far.
Yeah, and I think people, they didn't really forget, but I think they just sort of overlooked how good Rubik actually is, because if you looked at his winning percent, it's been over 65% recently, and Rubik just single-handedly shuts down certain heroes by themselves, or at least forces you to reconsider a team fight when you otherwise might have the advantage, because Darkseid, if he gets wall stolen, against Luna, if he gets vacuum stolen, then his team could be in a miserable position, but meanwhile we're going to see Winter pick up the Shadow Demon and Luna, so Luna, she's an interesting hero in my opinion because she's picked a decent amount, but she doesn't often win.
Yeah, I
She's
mean,
like the
she
new
does a lot
CK.
for your team, but she also requires quite a bit. I mean, she gives you that early push with the her aura, and of course, once she hits level 6 or 7 with her aura at this decent level and with a max beam plus her ultimate, it's actually very difficult to take on 5-on-5 fight. That's all good on paper, but at the same time, she's very squishy. If you want to pick her off, you can, even with through her BKB when she gets one. So it's going to be up to Darkseer and Shadow Demon to give Luna the protection. With that said, though, there is still quite a bit of burst damage just from the two picks from Rubik. So, yeah, I could see why that hero is very powerful, and I could also see why she's not winning as much.
We're going to see Orange pick up the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, he's sort of similar to Weston stats. Against certain teams, you ban him, but he's not really first ban, second phase ban material anymore, but I guess Orange plan to take a little bit more of a split pushing on up, and that could potentially work. And Luna, very mobile here. Darkseer has potential to counter push, but once AM gets enough farm, Iron Shell doesn't really do anything, and Queen of Pain and Antinage can definitely split push a lot faster than the side of the 007 or the ABC squad in the mid to later stages of the game.
Yeah, I'm actually curious on terms of how they're going to be laning this because if Darkseer gets into anti-mage lane, double Iron Shell would make it a light nightmare for anti-mage as well as any other melee hero that's trying to see it. Like even if you get a Tranquil Boots, which is probably the best form of regeneration you could pick up in lane, you still are not going to out regen a double Iron Shell. So if the lane matches up the way that Winter and his team wants to, they could make sure that anti-mage doesn't get that farm, and Luna, of course, will get her farm because her damage output is insane early on. So with that kind of knowledge, I wonder if Neo is going to try to dodge that Darkseer lane as well, and maybe dedicate a couple of supports to make sure that anti-mage gets farm.
Yeah, I was about to say it might be prudent for ABC to actually ban out supports that pair well with Rubik heroes like Leshrac, Disruptor even sometimes. He can trap people when Darkseer is trying to surge away, even though I don't think he's the best lane support. Jakiro, the or the Ice Path is very easy to combine with Telekinesis, and so if you pick up double range supports with a lot of disables, then Darkseer can be shut down. But instead, it looks like ABC gonna try to shy away from the team fight or get rid of the jungle presence. I guess they think that Rubik wants a lot of experience, and he does. But I think with an anti-mage, you always want to play it safe rather than sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen actually Enigma being banned out for a long, long time, and I personally feel like he's a hero deserving of a ban, but because nobody actually plays him in the European scene, that, a lot of us already forgot what this hero is very capable of. Playing it against a Darkseer is a little bit annoying if you're an Enigma player, because you could jump in and get off a good hold, but you're going to get vacuum out of it. With that said, though, Enigma, very, very powerful hero, gets you that quick early mech if you need a team to do so. But this is a ban that's more like it, the Puck ban. We've seen Korok do a lot of dirty work for Team Liquid in the West, and as well as for many other teams. Puck's been really a shining star, but in the Southern East Asian scene, Puck is really just a captain in terms of initiating and setting up team fights. And you don't really want to have, you don't really want Winter's team to have both Darkseer and Puck. That's just going to be a disaster.
Puck against squishy Blink heroes is gotta be NeoEs.Orange's worst nightmare, and Puck is one of those heroes who actually fares neutrally against Queen of Pain, and sometimes does beat her, and whenever you pick up a Queen of Pain, you do expect to win the lane, unless it's CK Wisp, which we're probably not going to see for the most part. But we're going to see Sanking being banned out, and this is always very odd to me, because Sanking as a support is just doesn't work, in my opinion, because by the time he gets Epicenter, by the time he gets Dagger or Epicenter level 2, people have a mech and a pipe up, so, and keep in mind the Epicenter cooldown is pretty long, so I'm a bit surprised to see the Sanking ban, but I guess maybe since they think NeoEs.Orange will take it to the late game, Sanking might have a bit more effect. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, at least in the current metagame, how the two supports are very stymied in terms of level early on. By the time he gets to level 6, everybody's at 2 or 3 levels higher. The pipe might not be done, but the mech is going to be almost done. Maybe, I mean, I don't even know if Sanking is going to be good against Darkseer, because Darkseer is going to have that quick mech. On the same time, it's not going to be good against Rubik, because he's going to have no fuel available, especially with double blink up on the Darius squad. So I'm not exactly sure what the Sanking ban is, but Winter knows best, Winter knows better. So I guess it's a better question to ask.
You're about to say Winter knows all, I could tell.
Yeah, I was, but, they are in the losers bracket, so I can't say that yet.
Yeah, Orange is in the losers bracket as well. Orange...
I didn't say they know best all or anything, so...
Yeah, Orange is like the main team in Southeast Asia, and I'm a bit surprised to see them in the
Are
losers
they in the
bracket.
losers bracket, then?
They are, but this is a turn for Keys.
Alright.
And Mushi's not playing.
True.
It's going to be Ketchikimba. So, yeah. But I'm sure Mushi is actually just hovering over Orange's shoulder saying, do this, do this, do this. From what I've heard, Mushi is a very commanding taskmaster.
Just like how all the other good Asian people are. Lena is going to be the last ban out here, as well as Beastmaster. The bans coming out from NeoEs.Orange makes a lot of sense. The Beastmaster is going to be a very, very great addition, especially against a lockdown, or using the lockdown power against Queen of Pain as well as Anti-Mage. So a very, very safe ban out here to protect. It seems like the path of victory is going to be through the Queen of Pain and Anti-Mage, which might sound like well, duh, that's the two heaviest farmer. But most other teams nowadays try to run a very cohesive kind of tri-lane, and that's going to be their path of victory. But for the most part, they just want to protect Anti-Mage and Queen of Pain. And likely we're going to see a lot of split pushing from both of these blinkers very deep into the game, I imagine.
Yeah, and again, the lean-in ban makes a lot more sense, but it just brings me back to the Sanking ban. Sanking in a dual melee lane against a Darkseer can't really put down the harassment like other range heroes can. But still, I mean, that's already out of the picture by now. So I expect NeoEs.Orange to pick up a hero like Jakiro, who's still somewhat seen in Southeast Asian scene, Disruptor, Leshrac if they want to get a bit of early pushing going, which it might be prudent against Luna. Because keep in mind, Anti-Mage, the reason why he's faded out is because he doesn't actually do too much in the early game, and if he doesn't get a splish push going, he essentially is just, a mana burning creep.
Well, he's not that bad. He could blink in at Mana Voice sometimes. Your Panda's gonna get, or Brewmaster is gonna get banned out. One concern going to the second phase here for Winter's team is that they gotta actually pick up a little bit more physical damage. Soul Catcher is gonna be a little bit helpful. Luna, obviously, if she picks up enough items, is gonna be helpful. But you're looking against a team that's gonna have a max no feel, pretty deep in the game, as well as spell shield. So if you're relying a lot of your late game DPS through Magical Path, then you're not gonna have a good time. So Chen is going to get the pickup here, which is going to give them that early game pressure, but it does not alleviate the problem I just mentioned, which is they need some DPS. Luna gives you quite a bit, and she gives everybody else quite a bit, but you need a secondary DPS hero, and I don't know who that is right now.
Well, keep in mind, I mean, that might not even be in Winter's plans. He might just say, alright, they have Anti-Mage in their early game, and Rubik most likely won't get too much experience if we can shut down, or not even shut down, just keep distracting the Queen of Pain for a bit. We can push down towers very, very easily, because if you look at Orange's lineup, they don't really have the best counter pushing mechanisms. They have a lot of split pushing, but yeah, as of yet, they have not too much counter pushing. Keep in mind, Queen of Pain has to venture pretty close, which sets up an easy disruption into whatever stun that ABC does decide to pick up. But yeah, again, there's still 2 picks left. Orange could pick up very, very strong counter pushing heroes. I think Jakiro, Thrall, again, really, really strong heroes, or Jakiro and Disruptor, rather.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be agreeing with you here as you see Jakiro gets picked up immediately. They need that counter push. But more importantly, if you look at the big hole in Winter's draft is that, yeah, they have really, really good offensive heroes, but how are they going to actually keep Queen of Pain as well as Anti-Mage locked down? They don't actually have any legit stun. The best stun we have here is the Disrupt into a Centaur Stomp, which, I mean, works on paper, but it's not something you count on. There's some mini stun coming.
I think we're going to see Leshrac here to get the push as well as the Split Earth to synergize.
Sure, that would be a good pickup, but they gotta pick up some a really, really good disable hero. If we're gonna see a return of a solo mid Shadow Shaman, I'm a big fan of that hero, especially in a game like this where really give you that push as well as the lockdown. Leshrac's gonna be a good hero as well, thanks to the setup of Shadow Demon. So they gotta pick up a huge stun hero, and as well as a hero that could help them push. Because I don't think if this game goes late enough, it's gonna be in Winter and his team's advantage, but they're gonna go with Night Stalker, which I guess is not a really legit stun, but that Fear of the Darkness is gonna be just as good against these blinkers, and the Void is not bad in terms of a semi-disable to set up all the other stuns.
Yep. Keep in mind, after the second to the beginning of the third night, Night Stalker loses a lot of his effectiveness because he relies on his magical damage. But they have Luna, they have Darkseer. Keep in mind, the mana burning Anti-Mage illusions will put havoc on Jakiro and Rubik. If not, Queen of Pain and Anti-Mage who can just blink away. But yeah, Night Stalker doesn't really beat Queen of Pain mid. He can survive. He's one of those heroes who just needs to survive till level 6, and he should be okay. And again, just dying past towers, get the push going through that mechanism is a pretty good option. But we'll see what Orange decides to do. They still have to pick up their long lane hero. Not too sure. I guess Windrunner could be a solid option here for the anti-push as well as the disable, which they are lacking a little bit.
Yeah, I guess in theory Queen of Pain could go on the long lane, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. There's a Windrunner being picked up here. Man,
so good.
These calls is like 3 for 3 so far.
And anyway, we're going to see the players pick up their heroes, and keep in mind, this is the losers bracket of the Litany League playoffs, or the league, and it's sponsored by, God, Heavy Arm NeoEs.Storage. But yeah, this 4th season's coming up very soon, sponsored by Dota Talk, so that should be pretty exciting, as it's going to be a bigger prize pool, and Zenith is actually playing, so hopefully I can get some replays to that. What do you think about that, Lumi? Huh?
Yeah, sounds interesting. Cool.
You sound
I'm going to pretend that I'm very, very caring right now.
God, Lumi, we haven't casted in like 3 months, and you're just killing my buzz, man.
I'm just laying it down. That's how I roll, man. I have been infected by Luminous. In the past 3 months, I've converted to the dark side here. Look, all right, let's introduce the players here. X is going to be playing the Rubik. We have O playing the Queen of Pain. KKEE going to be playing the Anti-Mage. Shakira going to be handled by T. Man, these letters are...
do you actually know what these letters stand for?
Nope. Nope.
It's
And
Extinct,
K is going to be
Ohio,
playing.
Ketchikimba, KYXY, and Net.
I feel like I should know, but I have not casted Orange since TI2, so I don't know.
Meanwhile, on the side of ABC, it's gonna be Winter playing the Shadow Demon, and then everybody else is playing other heroes.
Yep,
Somebody's Ling, somebody apparently is TFG, which I didn't know. I guess Sicko's gotta be TFG. Han Trash
just
Player is
playing the
Han
mid
Trash
hero.
Player. And I guess Ling played support, but he also played. He could play the offlane. I mean, Dota players are very versatile. But anyway, it's just gonna be Badger Splat playing Darkseid and ZXC playing the Chen.
Man, Sicko is rushing the bottle as hard as he can. I mean, if you're gonna go rush a bottle like this, you might as well start with bottle first, and then pick up the 3 GG branch on your first delivery. But to each their own.
Yeah, keep in mind, Void, 80 mana cost. He could start with the bottle one, as I've seen Virtus Pro actually run this with Time My Wild, aka Crazy. Just start with the bottle and just nuke down creeps when you feel like
Yeah,
you're going to be under a lot
I
of
mean,
harassment.
Sexy Bamboo was the originator with starting bottle first, and he's a pretty good, decent player. And actually, if you're gonna go bottle first on a mid hero, I think Night Stalker was one of the better heroes to do so because his starting stats is quite decent, even without the 3 GG branches. He's sitting at like respectable 900 or 500 something HP. So, but okay, you could rush the bottle like this too.
Yeah, you can. I guess he wants a bit more base damage because Queen of Pain has a very annoying attack animation, and without the 3 GG branches, the damage point on Night Stalker is just 1 point average greater, and of
Man,
course not taking account to random variation. But anyway, that's
he
here.
can't even go into last hit. If he's gonna go into last hit, he's gonna get Shadow Strike. Watch, he's gonna stand here and use my Void. Exactly what he's doing. And if so, why don't you start with bottom first?
I gotta agree
Yep.
with you. I've seen Virtus Pro run
Sit
it.
back and Void. That's what he's gonna be doing all day. I guess the 3 stat points on the int path does help you do so here. But right now we're gonna see the thing I want to point out is that Darkseer is jungling. Sure, he can put double Iron Shell right at level 1, but it's not gonna be too effective considering the supports here on the Dire Jungle is doing some sick double pulling action right now. It's going to be denying quite a bit of EXP, so he's not going to get much. So he's going to basically jungle till at least level 2, but most likely level 3, and then he's going to go up top.
Meanwhile, KOXI dishing out a bit of harassment as the disruption illusions do fade away. KOXI has yet to pick up important experience, so Darkseer has a little bit of the advantage in that regard, but KOXI, I mean, he's letting the other supports get more experience, so it's a bit of a trade-off right there. As Windrunner, I feel like is one of those heroes who wants experience, but it's not really at the top of the priority pool. Just needs to survive for the most part. I don't know.
Yep, I'm going to agree with that. Darkseer level 2.5 here. Probably going to finish a level 1 camp and go for 3. Or these guys could smoke up for a jungle or for a gank attempt as well. They do have that smoke on Chen, and it's actually a very good time to soak right behind that tier 1 tower on the bot lane. Here we go, 007 here is going to disrupt on the Windrunner, trying to get a block going. Pretty close on a block. Where's the Windrunner? There's going to get pop, and unfortunately, Han Trash Player was not able to get off the block. Generally, if you're trying to get a kill on Windrunner, you want to force her to Windrun first and then disrupt, but Winter most likely just want to get some harass, make sure that Windrunner burns a tank or two, burn a little bit more mana to make that next gank a little bit easier.
Meanwhile, the top room was camped. Actually, both runes are camped by Orange, and that means Ohio will pick up a very easy illusion rune. So Night Stalker does have the bottle up. Yes, he does. So I expect, yep, the Flying Courier has been upgraded. So just a Bottle Crow, again, just playing like an utter douchebag, as Pycat called it. Just staying in lane, waiting for level 6, and then, actually having an impact in the game.
Man, that's how you play
Have you seen that
mid.
interview with Pycat?
No, but Prax's been telling me that Chinese Dota is all about bottle curling now. I mean, they are just adapting the Pinoy strat that was apparently the best strat in the world.
Yo, Shadowblade on all these carries, even though Shadowblade was buffed. So,
Shadowblade is good, but Smoke Gang's coming up on top lane here. Everybody is in position. Who do they want? Twin Head with Jakiro is a very, very easy target. Smoke dispels here, and looks like T trying to go for the pull, but he is going to be dead. The Centaur Stomp's going to be on top. Perfect chainstun here, and T drops off a spell, but it's going to give up first blood to Darkseer of all, and Darkseer's going to have an immediate Soul Ring after this, and that means double Iron Shell to your face, Anti-Mage. What's up?
Yeah, Rubik getting a nice stack pull going. We'll actually pick up too much experience from this because those creeps will just die. But still, has to be a bit careful. There are people in his jungle as this other huge stack being finished
Jesus.
off. It's actually a lot of small creeps, but they give
Yeah.
up a decent amount of gold and experience. And you can see Darkseer already level 4. He'll have a second point to surge, and that means if he wants to lane, he does have the potential to lane if he manages to get that Soul Ring online. As Anti-Mage gonna try to be greedy, try to pick up the boots. I'm not too sure what he's doing, as he's gonna be disrupted. Centaur will come in. The question is whether the stun will be in
Ooh.
place. It will be, and Anti-Mage does die. I don't actually know why he went to the shop. He didn't actually buy anything. No, I guess he bought the Tranquil Boots.
He completed his Tranquil Boots. What he basically wanted to do is, well, and generally you could always get away with any kind of small misplay like that because you're anti-mage. You just blink away. But in that perfect chain stun instance, really prevent him to do so. There's a blink here. Centaur did not have the Monas. Oh, he did have the Monas farm. Stomp, excuse me. There was an Arcane Boot being popped earlier. That was from the Darkseer. But Darkseer is running in here against 3. He just wants Jakiro. Jakiro. Well, there's a Centaur. Can he get off the other stomp? No, and looks like Chen in big trouble as well. There's a Fable to get the kill here. And looks like the anti-mage player is still going right on Winter. Winter out of mana, out of HP at this point. That means he's not going to take a lot of mana burn damage, but, you know, not too good when you're getting chased down by 3 or 4 heroes. Centaur being microed here with the Iron Shell. Gonna get the kill. Well, he's trying to. Orange Cheese just nuking the trees right now. And he's still going to go down.
That was actually...
for as long as possible, but...
Yeah, that was really nice blocking by Ketchik Imba as well, but he was taking a lot of damage from Ion Shell. And in the end, it was a 3-for-2 exchange. And even though it was 3-2, the fact that Anti-Mage got a lot of experience from those return kills, he's already level 5. I think that's not too bad for Orange, even though they are in a little bit of a deficit. The fact that no towers have been pushed, the fact that Queen of Pain did pick up a kill, it's not too bad for Orange, even though, again, they came out on the losing end.
Yeah, I mean, one thing they do have to worry about is that Night Stalker got about 30 seconds of free farm, which I'm pretty sure he lasted about every single creep in that during that.
Well, even then, he's being doubled up. So
yes, that's the thing though. Queen of Pain is just outlaning Night Stalker so hard, and basically, yeah, he is going to be bottle crawling until he hits level 6, and more importantly, until the first Nightfall. You can see that he already has a teleport scroll, and that should kind of discourage any kind of further dive coming in from the Dire side, but. Back to the old trick is Orange stack pulling.
Yeah, me on the other side.
A lot of EXP on the top lane.
He would approve, but me on the other side of the equation, we see KYX actually pick up level 3 in that exchange as he's going to Windrun out. Disruption isn't yet in range. Boots is up on the Shoudian, but Boots is also up in the Windrunner. She's able to escape, will be okay. And meanwhile, we're going to see Darkseer just camp that top lane for a bit. The Iron Shell and the creeps do so much damage. Iron Shell is one of those funny spells that never really gets bad as this game goes on.
It gets pretty bad like 50 minutes in the game, but, you know, we'll take a bad spell to actually dominate. I guess it's still a decent amount of AoE damage and whatnot, but right now it is nighttime for Night Stalker, and he is looking for the first rune, and I do believe has been sniped on the bot lane here by Windrunner. Yeah, it's a haste. She picked it up, and unfortunately, despite being nighttime, there's so little action going on, and the fact that the Radiant team can't really do too much at this point in the game, not against double blinkers, that Night Stalker just has to farm.
And yeah, that's sort of the sacrifice you have to make when you dual roam with your supports. Chen and Shout even got 3 kills on that top lane, kept down the anti-mage. But that means Windrunner does have the experience, has level 2 of Power Shot, and it's going to make it a lot more difficult to push in unless they do a wraparound gank, but that will waste a lot of time on the side of ABC. So there's always these trade-offs when you make these sort of maneuvers, as we're going to see Chen rotate in. Does he actually have a creep? No, he has a mana burn creep, so it looks like they're not going to push in. They're just going to farm up the Chen. Maybe wait for the mecha? I don't know, but the mechanism is a long way away as the mana burn being cancelled over and over again. Not too sure I didn't just mana burn it off altogether.
Maybe got fogged, not too sure. It's actually not that bad for the Radiant team. I mean, they're not getting tower pushed down, they're not getting those ganks off, which generally you come to expect from a Chen. But if you look at his level, he's 5. I mean, this is one of the faster farm Chen. Of course, the couple kills up on top, very, very helpful. But, you know, getting quick level 6 really means that the Dire team can't get any kills, especially not during nighttime. But meanwhile, look at top lane here, the anti-mage, despite having Tranquil Boots, and as well as Ring of Health, just really can't do too much in this lane. He's going to take quite a bit of damage from the Iron Shells.
Yep, and while he's being pushed away, that means supports don't really have too much of an avenue to initiate. Darkseer does have that level 2 of Surge as well as a point to Vacuum, so we'll be okay unless Anti-Mage is there to commit, as he's going to wrap around and avoid a lot of creep damage, but should be fine, as this game, like you mentioned, pretty tame at the most part, but you can see a lot of action, a lot of little maneuvers, as we're going to see an engagement on the Darkseer Telekinesis, Mana Void to finish up the kill with the Ice Path, And we are going to see Darkseer take the fall on that top lane. And meanwhile, can the Rain make anything happen? And meanwhile, Ohio being voided for a little bit of damage, but Sicko very unable or not willing to commit.
Yeah, meanwhile, Luna, let's check out how she's been farming. 57 CS in about 8 minutes. Basically last hitting every single creep. Aquila picked up here, Triangle Boo picked up. These are the basic items that you see a lot of Luna players go for. Question is, what is she going to go for next? Now, the next variation, if you will, is generally going to be Drum Speed KB, but sometimes you go straight Manta Butterfly if you want to really go late game carry, or other players who would like to pick up a Helm of Dominator and start stacking. I don't think Helm of Dominator is going to be the build here, considering that you do have a Chen to stack for you, but you never know. For now, she's going to just be pushing up on the bot lane.
Man, Winter must be getting fogged as heck, as that was an opportunity to get disruption, but I mean, they only had a net creep, so maybe the net creep is out of range. I guess save your mana rather than waste it, as we're going to see Windrunner rotate around Queen of Pain and Jakiro waiting in the shadows as well, even though they're quite far away. And we're going to see a soul catcher onto Windrunner. Here comes the disruption as well. Will Night Stalker actually die from 2 screens away? Here comes the net as well. The Shockwave doing a significant amount of damage, and Chen does pick up the last hit, but Queen of Pain gonna roam back in. Shadow Strike going down onto Winter. Can Winter actually escape? Canceling the Sonic Wave is the Queen of Pain. Soul Catcher is in place, as Queen of Pain did not drop off the Sonic Wave. I guess his HP was a bit too high. Yeah, 200. I guess he wanted to catch both heroes ideally, so he just decided to hold on to the Sonic Wave where it could do a bit more damage, because keep in mind, level 1 Sonic Wave, ridiculous cooldown.
Earlier in that gank here, as we see a kill on the top lane against the Darkseer. Early on that gank against the Windrunner just really shows off the power of just a level 1 Soul Catcher. Not many other supports having very, very lack of nuke damage should get a kill simply with right clicks and Chen creeps. And this particular combination of Chen creeps, not exactly too impressive, but able to really lock down that Windrunner and get just right clicks off and got the kill. Looks like we do have a push attempt going on the bot lane. You can see that Ring of Aquila being turned on to give the creeps a little bit of armor, but a good power shot's going to drag the creep wave back. So this game, again, very, very passive. And personally, I think that favors the Dire team a little bit more, considering that they're a little bit more late game oriented. But with that said, Luna is getting the highest farm in the game, so.
Yeah, just a little bit of Lumi musing right here, as shout out to your new series on Luminous and Versa. Oh man, doing your plugs for you. How do you feel about that? You can't even do your own plugs anymore. I gotta do them for you.
I'm too good to do my own plugs, man.
This is true. I'm basically a bitch now. That's what you're saying. As we're going to see Elusive Beam flying, Extinct should be okay. As they're going to see the Rain push in. They do have a double damage up on Night Stalker, which might prompt their aggression. Meanwhile, Anti-Age going to farm up the top lane, where we're going to see Darkseid rotating around as well. Orange try to defend this tower, but Jakiro going to be surrounded on all sides. Will end up dying. Not even Eclipse being used, just Elusive Beam and some surrounds. As, interesting enough, Queen of Pain isn't rotating. They looks like they're just going to give up this tower and just sacrifice it for farm and perhaps the tower trade.
Well, they want to get that top tower. Anti-Mage already on it, on the case here, but the siege unit is going to go down. That's very, very unfortunate. That's going to slow down the push quite a bit. Queen of Pain trying to do a little bit of chip damage here as well. The question becomes how quickly Radiant thinks they could take the tower. Not quickly enough, is you could see the immediate rotation of Darkseid going back up on top. I think they could still, you know, take it down because you have Chen, you have a Night Stalker with double damage during nighttime. So they are going to bring it down. Luna, this is what I talked about, how Luna around level 7, 8 just really feels the push, giving her team the aura. The Chen creeps also benefit from that aura, but more importantly, you just can't engage against the Luna without a significant, like, bigger items. If you have a quick mech or something like that, then you can engage, but because the Eclipse at this point in the game is simply just way too much DPS.
Definitely, definitely. And again, there's not really any reliable lockdown. Of course, there's Telekinesis and Ice Path, but Shackle Shot not really the biggest duration at this point. As we're going to see rotation mid, and Night Stalker still has that double damage rune up. Did he get the bottle charge, as the rune was, it's just spawned in the bottom lane. It's going to be a regen rune, as the question is whether this push will be defended. Net level 2, so has a Dual Breath and Ice Path level 2, Sonic Wave and Screaming Pain, both at their appropriate levels. And Anti-Mage just continued to farm. Darkseid pushed him away for a bit, and you can see, actually Anti-Mage not really farming that well, has 73 CS, but still. No, he does have 2 components of Battle Fairy, so all he needs is that Void Stones. They're going to see a Queen of Pain get disrupted in the net. Is it going to be in place? Eclipse is going to use, but it actually does not do anything. Extinct trying to surge himself away, unfortunately, could not escape. And despite the Eclipse whiffing, it seems like the Rain won't really pay the prices. They're going to pick up the tower.
Actually, that's pretty bad here for the Radiant, because they whiffed the Eclipse, didn't get too much done here, and that's going to be an opening for Orange to at least defend a little bit more aggressively. Let's see if the Radiant is going to keep on pushing. I don't really think they can, and I think they are going to back off. Yeah, it's a good time for Luna to go back in the jungle, make sure to get that farm. Also, if you're pretty smart, of your Chen to make sure you ravage the enemy jungle, steal a creep here and there, blow up a couple of creeps here and there, make sure that the anti-mage can duck into his own jungle if he's pushed out of lane, which he will be uh, done against in just a bit here. Yeah, he used the anti-mage immediately, realizing that he's going to get ganked, and he's going to blink right now, but Winter does find him. The question is, can you silence or net him before he gets off the second blink? There's the silence. That was not a max blink right now, and he is going to be paying that price. Oh, anti-mage wins down. Huge ultimate here from Queen of Pain. Actually, only hit, I think, Night Stalker. Night Stalker already popping that invis. Already going to work here against Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, though, getting some help from Fran. A sent back a little bit too late here. Chen trying to go to work. Gets a last hit on the neutral. On the way running back, he does not have a teleport score, so eventually he is going to go down as well. Darkseer's running around, perhaps trying to get a surge help here. That's Chen's trying to run towards the Darkseer. Not going to get that surge bonus. And that's going to be a triple kill on that Queen of Pain.
She definitely did that, as she was not making too much happen. And this might be a BKB, but it could also be an Agnum's Rush. I hope it's a BKB rush by this Queen of Pain, as she definitely needs it against the Silence and Disruption. But Agnum's Rush, I mean, it doesn't really kick in until level 16 in my opinion, but still, it's a very strong item. Gives a lot of HP, a lot of mana, a lot of stats to work with, and can give her a lot more, you know, of mana pool to sustain her blinking around her chasing habits. But anyway, back to sort of the question I was going to pose you. Anti-Age or Luna, who you got? 1v1 scenario.
I don't know. That's kind of a very arbitrary question, right?
Yo, dude, Lumi Muse. Let's go, Muse.
I mean, I gotta sit down, explore every kind of scenario here.
Meanwhile, Winter is going to cast the Purge onto Net after being surged forward. Net, can he escape? The poison is on him. Soul Catcher going to be used as well. Here comes the Disruption, waiting as long as possible to chain all of his stuns. Does pick up the kill. Night Stalker picks it up as well. So that's definitely going to help him out quite a bit. I imagine Night Stalker is going to go for the BKB. And Luna did pick up the tower in the meanwhile, so it's going to be 4 towers to none on the side of Orange. Taking a look at the gold graph, 5k, almost 6k advantage in favor of the ABC squad. So Orange in a little bit of a dicey situation, but now Anti-Mage does have a Battle Fairy side. At least he can get the split push going.
Yeah, and that split push is going to be really, really important because to answer your question about my musing is that Luna definitely a lot stronger as a pushing hero. Not only, of course, if you ever get to that Rax, the glaive is going to just tear buildings apart. But more importantly, at this stage of the game is that she's going to give so much damage to her teammates. And lastly, the Eclipse is such a, come at me kind of skill. Like, if you want to take a fight, Eclipse is going to shred you apart. You can see that his team is backing off to make sure that Luna's going to get that level 11. And she's not too afraid being too deep in the enemy territory because she has Strum, she has Yasha. She's going to be a race car. Going to get sent back for now here. Going to teleport back to bot lane most likely to start getting some EXP there. But with that said, Anti-Mage is a better late game carry, considering that his farm will accelerate like crazy. And really, a 6-slotted Anti-Mage will beat, in my opinion, a lot of other carries simply because he gets to 6-slot a lot quicker than most other carries. I think despite how farmed that the Luna is right now, Anti-Mage will catch up if you give him enough time to do so. So, to answer your question, they are both very, very strong, but at a different stage. So I that's why I was really unsure of how to answer your question in particular.
No, and it's the politician, as Queen of Pain will escape. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Anti-Mage, once it gets to Battle Fairy, will farm a lot faster since Luna most likely will try to stay with their team. And you can actually see on the last hit tabs, Anti-Mage has now overtaken the Luna, as we're going to see surplus of 100 creeps by both carries. But Luna should have more net worth because of those towers, as actually only 1,500 net worth ahead. Keep in mind the tower gold is split up evenly, and Anti-Mage get a last hit on the tower. But Luna got a last hit as well, as we are going to see a push in Night Stalker, as he is not yet level 11, so I don't imagine they really want to take engagement before Night Stalker hits level 11, because the cooldown on level 1 Darkness is just so immense that, in my opinion, it's not really feasible to use it in daytime.
Yeah,
unless you really just have to escape.
The thing is, they have a clock against them right now. You can see that every time the Anti-Mage gets towards the lane, it forces a TP. They force a TP on Luna on the bot lane, now he forces a TP on the Darkseer on the top lane. And this is really the true power of a split-pushing hero. Keep in mind that Anti-Mage and Queen of Pain will be doing this quite a bit. And Anti-Mage, his farm, I mean, didn't he just pick up a Battle Fury about like 3 minutes ago? Already up to a goal to pick up a Yasha. And suddenly that split push gets a lot stronger as he walks faster, do more damage to creeps, gets tankier here and there. And yeah, I wonder what the response is for the Radiant team. You could actually just, snowball down the mid lane trying to get that tower, but back in the mid lane here, they're going to go on Sickle. Sickle's going to eat a Shadow Strike, but Queen of Pain's got to back off. Yeah, there's no point here for Orange actually trying to engage. All they have to do is drag out this game, because I feel like the longer the game, they have a better shot of winning than trying to take a big team fight right now.
And this is more true for Anti-Mage compared to other carries. Essentially, towers are, for him, in the later stages of the game, essentially free gold because he split pushes so fast. Meanwhile, keep in mind, ABC wants to take down one tower, but if they take down that tower, considering the creep wave is heavily against them, they'll most likely end up losing two towers themselves, and that'll just even up the farm count and put ABC in a very difficult position. As we're going to see Darkseer finish up the pipe very, very soon, about 25 of gold. That's going to be pretty important against Queen of Pain, Windrunner, Jakiro. But again, Anti-Mage starts playing on the physical edge. Unfortunately for Anti-Mage, or fortunately for people who play against Anti-Mage, at this point it's very, very difficult for him to participate in team fights just because he is so squishy. Although he did go for maxing the spell shield rather than some of the burning builds where you see stats being picked up. As we're going to see a roam around, Ketchik Imba will be caught out as nighttime. Void was stolen, or was that the silence? It was Void as... No, it was Fear. Never mind.
That was a huge, huge kill for many, many reasons. Night Stalker 11, that darkness gets level up. Luna already 11. Item wise here, Mech
No, that was
and
level
Pipe.
one. That was level one darkness, so it's gonna be
That
on
was
cooldown.
okay. So he's unfortunately had to use it before he leveled up, something like that. Yeah, it already went off. But the point is being standard is that Mech and Pipe are both up here with Eclipse up. The Radiant team is gonna just go all the way here. They're gonna get that tier 2 and they're not gonna stop. They're going to keep going for the tier 3. And with, of course, Anti-Mage dead for about 30 seconds, there is no split pushing, which is the only thing that's going to keep the Radiant team back. Why are they turning back? I have no clue. Are they going to go for the Roshan? I suppose so. I really think they could even take Anti-Mage on the high ground if they want to do so. I really want to see them, if they want to go for Roche, they take the Roche and then resume the push. Because right now you can see Anti-Mage already getting ready split push. Push out the bot lane here. Of course, his teammates already pushing out the top lane. Just make sure you can't actually take them heads on if you're the Dire team. So try to make sure that you force a TP here too.
We're going to see Queen of Pain actually go for that BKB, so smart on decision. Again, Aghanim Scepter strong on it, but doesn't reach its maximum potential until level 16. As Luna should pick up the Aegis, does pick it up, and Nighttime has just popped. But in the exchange, they are going to lose one tier 1 tower as Windrunner, getting pretty close to a mechanism of her own. And that could be a bit of trouble for the Dire, will help to prevent some of the push. As again, because like you mentioned earlier, every time that the Rain group up is 5, that's going to open the avenues to split push. But instead, Rain going to take your advice, just charge all mid saying, what are you going to do about this? And Mechanism won't be online just yet unless she picks up, you know, full creep wave by herself.
Yeah, and there's a pipe that's going to give them a free walk up the hill. The only downside to this particular push is that Darkseer is very, very low level. Only one level in the wall. Does have max vacuum, which is pretty nice considering the fact he doesn't even have max Iron Shell. That's how he's really stretching his level. There's a Shackle Shot. The mech gets drawn out, so mech pipe are down. And Dire should have opening a fight here. Queen of Pain blinks and gotta be very careful. There's a disrupt. Centaur both die here, but here comes the BKB Luna. Eclipse gets dropped here, and everybody is either dead or gets forced back. No, what I said that though. Buyback coming here from the Rubik.
Look at Anti-Mage, he does not care. He does not care. He says, team, I believe in my team. As the wall expires, this tower will die. Will Anti-Mage actually teleport back as the Shackle Shot will hold Night Stalker and Darkseer in place? The question is, do the Rain want to take this engagement? Pipe should be back up. It will be back up. The Rain do want to take this engagement. Aegis still up despite BKB being down, but I guess Anti-Mage is just like, we're going to lose the Rex anyway. Might as well pick up and apply a lot of pressure to tier 3. And if he gets this tier 3, it might just be very, very a Pyrrhic victory for ABC, but still, it is the Raxus. We're going to see another Shack Shot onto Luna, as well as the Darkseer. More importantly, Mechanism is going to use this. Rax will end up dying. Anti-Mage finally teleports back. Ice Path is going to use it a little bit too late, as Rax is going to fall. As Anti-Mage try to take this engagement, trying to go onto Han. Trash Fire Vacuum is going to hit on the Queen of Pain, as we're going to see people back up. These Shackle Shots always hitting 2 people every single time, but unfortunately, no damage followed up, and the range backs are going to fall. I think it would have just been wiser if Anti-Mage kept up the pressure on that bottom lane.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe they try to really want to pick off a couple heroes as a running back, and Queen of Pain already working on that. Got to be very careful in terms of where she blinks in, though. Could blink into party 4 and basically just die. But yeah, I kind of want to agree with you that it might be a Pyrrhic victory considering the sense that they lost, what, 2 towers on the bot lane? A tier 2 at the very least. And that tier 3 suffer a little bit of damage as well. And also just very smart decision making here by our Anti-Mage player. Really, yeah, he could have defended with this team, but he really just doesn't do anything at this point. He's actually more valuable to the team by making them pay at least a tier 2 and getting a lot of gold in return. Does have the match style finish, so one more item on that anti-mage, and he starts to become a thorn on your side. If you're on the Radiant side, you gotta wait for the cooldown of your ultimates and start pushing, because one racks down, that's fine, but with the Battlefield on anti-mage, they will not actually type out GG to that. They will probably be able to defend it very easily, and you can see immediately the Radiant team realizing they just need one more lanes of racks, and it actually looked pretty easy considering that how early they popped the mech and pipe. That battle was so drawn out that they were able to pop mech and pipe a second time. And of course, the first 10-second BKB was very impressive on Luna. Allow her to drop that level 2 Eclipse for a maximum damage. Still even have that Aegis Immortal. So this push should, if nothing goes, crazily, it should be a second Rax, because it's just so hard to stop this push.
Yeah, anti-mage one of those heroes who doesn't care about one racks down, but at this stage in the game, 2 racks down would be very, very crippling, in my opinion, for the Dire, just because you just get a lot more, or a lot less experience for heroes like Windrunner, a lot less gold. And anti-mage, he's a strong hero, but can't 1v5 a team, as the push is going to come in. BKB is finished on the Night Stalker, and 9-second BKB is still up on Luna. She still has Aegis for a bit longer, but here comes the push again by Anti-Mage, and
Yep.
it does have the TP to teleport back. So Radiant, unfortunately, being pushed back by the Sonic, or the Scream Paints and the Poisons, but might just have to man up. Gonna probably have to man up very soon, as they're gonna back off, sensing the pressure.
They just don't have that creep wave. Earlier, popping that pipe just to get that creep wave on the high ground was actually very, very important. Anti-Mage gets that tier 2 on the bottom for free, and basically forces everybody to TP back. And that's, well, actually, everybody's backing off on the Radiant side, and that wants to elicit a TP back on Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage doesn't actually TP back just yet. He's hiding. But as long as he doesn't see a hero to defend the base, he's not going to TP away, because both these guys are playing a cat and mouse game with that creep equilibrium. And so far, again, Radiant doesn't have that advantage. They are one big ball that's trying to push in on the bot. And between like Fable, Power Shot, they're going to defend this all day.
Haste Rune is... no, I guess it just wore off the Night Stalker, popping the darkness yet again. As meanwhile, Darkseer still not yet level 12. I want to see him get that level 2 Iron or Wall of Replica, but again, if they back off for now, that's going to give Anti-Mage an opportunity to push down the middle tower, push out the creep equilibrium, so it's just a very difficult situation. They're going to pop the pipe right now. The question is, can they push in as the glyph? It is going to be up in about 30 seconds, I imagine. BKB is going to be popped before the silence does come through, as Sonic Wave is going to catch another 2-man Shackle Shot. Vacuum is going to use by the Rubik. Nicely done, but Queen of Pain might just get bursted down. No, she blinks away at the last second. Will anybody in the Dire die? Windrunner is going to get picked off. She's going to die. And again, Anti-Mage does not care. Just finally deciding to join the team fight after the BKs have worn down. This is the prime opportunity for Anti-Mage to start strike, as Shackle Shot, for once in its existence, does not last down 2 yards. Here comes Anti-Mage fighting with the Mana Void, manning up Queen of Pain. Anti-Mage ripping through them like a hot knife through butter, and ABC, their push has been stopped.
The tides have turned right now. Shackle Shot's going to hit again. Everybody on the Radiant side dies. Aegis was used. They used mech and pipe. Did the top racks go down? It's so close. It's so
gonna die.
close.
It's gonna die.
It's gonna get the last hit. He tried a vacuum. Vacuums does not work against mechanical units. And well, that was a Rax not even traded. That was just Rax being freely taken up. You know what? It's maybe a little bit too early to call this, but the game is really in the favor of Team Orange. 4K go up on Anti-Mage. If he wants to be very conservative, a BKB right now just going to put them in a very secure position. Or if he wants to go for a heart, that's a little bit greedy of a late game item. Radiant really wanted to win right there. Orange picked up a Vit booster from the secret shop. Whole bunch of small items were just picked up. You can see that the Staff of Wizardry for Belt and Dragon Strength on Chen. They just want to pick up any small pieces to make them stronger for that one push. They did not get that one push off. And this game is going to be a lot longer than what the Radiant hoped for.
Yep, Radiant can't just push in willy-nilly anymore. Even though they do have the glyph up, but the Dire, they have the glyph up as well. Weren't even for season. Didn't even lose the tier 3. So Dire definitely in an advantageous position. I think if I were the Radiant, I'd follow with the Darkseer, because Darkseer, one of those heroes who transitions very well into all stages of the game. And if you get that level 3 replica up, as you can see, he's going for the Aghanim Scepter. If you get that up with the increased damage of the illusions, that will hurt. For 45 seconds, that will hurt like very few other spells in the game do. And then I think you can try to bulldoze away, but I don't know. I think you have to wait for the Darkseer on this one.
Yeah, I think at this point here, I agree. You just try to outlay them, which I mean, you're not automatically dead despite that the enemy have anti-mage. You do have a Hexfire. The Darkseer could do it, or you could obviously go for the wall Iron Shell combo, or the accepted wall combo. Luna could get very, very big if you get enough item on her as well. Night Stalker could get decently big with a Basher and start locking down the anti-mage. There are definitely outs here for the Radiant team, but they're definitely playing downhill despite the Rax count being even. Are they trying to smoke backdoor Rax? I think they are.
They're just trying to catch people before they get the creep waves. As maybe they're waiting for a big creep wave. They're trying to go in with the siege unit, I imagine. No, the creep wave just gets melted, and the siege begins yet again. Anti-Mage just gonna push down the top barracks, and yeah, ABC seems like they've hit a bit of a standstill right now. As, again, like you said, there's options for the late game. People like Chen, and Night Stalker does transition very well into the very late season game, but with the item build he went for, won't really have that big of an impact, in my opinion.
Right, the pipe gets popped right now to protect that creep wave, and they're going to try to run in and bulldoze way. There's a wall, there's a vacuum that's going to be on Chi support, but the wall gets stolen back. That's going to be a little bit awkward here, but Luna, Illusion just doing all sorts of damage here. Focus on the Rax, my friend. There is going to be a glyph. Anti-Mage, where is it? He's going to be TPing right back. The BKB has ran out. Anti-Mage already will be blinking and doing work. Sicko losing HP just instantly right there. They pick up the Darkseer. Darkseer is going to be dead as well. The slow is going to be on top. Can he surge away? No, he cannot. They traded a couple of lives here, and more importantly, they only got the tier 3. They lost a range of racks on top, and a lot of buildings have been lost as well. The only thing that's standing right now is a tier 2, but more importantly, Roshan is going to be back very, very soon. And if you look at the Creequilibrium, they're going towards the Radiant side, so if the Radiant loses the next Aegis, this game is going to be very, very hard. If you look at Anti-Mage right now, not even going for any HP. I talked about BKB, I talked about Heart, both being a very conservative items to make them tankier, but I guess if you think about the way that he's been playing, Butterfly is the perfect item choice because he's just hitting creeps and he's just coming in at the end of the fight to chase people away. And why do you need HP to chase people away? All you need is damage, and that's exactly what he's picking up. Butterfly Flinch, 30 minutes, Butterfly, Manta, Battle Fury, and to be honest, he's got 3 def. It's not like he's playing absurdly well. He's got gang. This is just the power of Anti-Mage.
And keep in mind that when he does pick up the BKB, it'll be 10 seconds by the time Luna's is 5, by the time Night Stalker's is 5. So that is something that's often forgotten. As ABC trying to get the creep equilibrium back, Roshan is back up, but I just took a look at Chen. I feel bad for this guy. Picked up, interestingly, Necrobook, which essentially will just die in a couple of cleaves. I'm not too sure why you get Necrobook at this stage in the game. It's for the push, but at this point, I think one will just die at level 1. He's only level 9, which is why I felt bad for him, but still. Necrobook, I don't think is a suitable item choice.
I mean, I think the item choice was decided long ago, right after they pushed down the tier 1 racks. Anti-Mage,
they smoked up under the ward.
That smoke.
They smoked up under the ward.
Oh, well, the Dire team is going to be back off there, running the complete opposite direction towards the top. And Radiant probably going to try to smoke into the Roshan. Yeah, they are. The question is if the Radiant team is going to fight this. It's so dangerous to fight a Roshan fight against a Darkseer. But, are they going to try? No, I think they're going to give them the free Aegis. You know, earlier, 2 pushes ago, Luna had the Aegis, wasn't even able to push in. Yeah, there's no reason to take this fight right now. Well, there is a reason, but they don't want to. It's just too risky to take that fight. So, free Aegis for Luna.
Yeah, Luna still has 7 seconds of BKB, still a significant duration, but if they lose another team fight, then BKB won't really provide as much sort of protection. As we're going to see, Queen of Pain Chase has the Aghanim Scepter up, only level 14, as his pipe is going to be used. And this is the cue for Orange to get the heck out of there. Nice vacuum up onto the cliff. Luna going to pop the BK to pick off a Jakiro and a Rubik as they are going to die. Does Rubik have buyback as he's been stealing walls left and right? He should have buyback. No, the buyback timer is on cooldown. Anti-Mage, on the other hand, says, you may kill a Rubik, but you can't take our freedom.
Anti-Mage going for a tier 4. He saw the tier 2, was like, yeah, that's a tower. But this is a bigger tower. So he just blinked in and started working on that one with his illusions. Alright, this is some next level play. Sure, the Radiant team got an extra couple kills. They got the Aegis on the Luna. But they're not playing their game right now. They're playing the Dire team saying, Dire says, we push you. And the Radiant team says, alright, we defend. And when you're the pushing team and you're playing the enemy team's game, that's not a good sign for anybody. That did not catch my drift. Also, back to Chen's item. I'm agreeing here with you. The fact that Necrobook being picked up so late is just not really a good item, but not really his choice to pick it up late. I think They thought the game would be over, to be honest, and I thought the game would be over, but the defense was just too strong on the Dire team, and now they're sitting very awkwardly with the booster
Oh, catching
on Shadow
him.
Demon.
He doesn't have buyback. He's gonna blink in, try to snipe some ancients. Night Stalker gonna be driven away. I don't think he knows that Kitchigan does not buyback. And anyway, no teammate support there, so unable to chase down Anti-Mage. But Anti-Mage just gonna do as Anti-Mage does, farm up the jungle, checking out the GPM. Anti-Mage has surpassed Luna at 600, as Luna dropping down to 550. And meanwhile, we're gonna see the Dire Sports respawn. Rubik dying was significant because Rubik is just playing out of his mind, stealing all of the spells that the Darkseid stole. Vacuum stole, Wall stole a lot of these spells, making it very difficult for the Rain to push in. And the fact that they were able to survive the Rubik being dead by Anti-Mage just pushing a tier 4, like you mentioned, very, very critical. As Anti-Mage is going to back off for now against an Aegis Luna. Picked up Travels. This is a nice item.
Who picked up Travels?
Luna.
Oh, Luna did. Right?
Yep, Luna picked up Travels just recently.
Yeah, that's actually a very, very important pickup here. That's going to give them a way to actually combat against a split push. She is the only hero right now on their team that could defend against Anti-Mage and not die. I don't think she could win a fight against Anti-Mage, but she's not going to die. And that's a key thing. If she is able to defend and while her teammates is able to push, you could actually teleport back to join and push. Now, ironically, I'm going to say something that might be just my musing and might be a little bit controversial, but I personally believe Chen is a worse pushing hero compared to Keeper of the Light. And if let's say if the two heroes swap, if they had Keeper of Light instead, one thing that the Radiant team could have been doing is just send a regular hero to TP back to defend against that split push against the Anti-Mage, and then just recall them back. And obviously, Keeper of the Light is a great pushing with his Illuminate and whatnot to blow off the enemy crew wave. So that's why you see Keeper of the Light being a complete top pick. And I think he was banned this game.
Yeah, he was banned
just in the first phase. Yeah, Keeper of Light is just an insane hero, and surprisingly,
Keeper of Light is a dumb hero. I hate him.
He's just absolutely broken in terms of what he can do. Like he does so well in every single stage of the game, and you know one thing that he does also very well is late game push because of recall. It's just global TP. I mean, just think about all the other global TP heroes: Nature's Prophet, Wisp. These heroes have been dominating the scene for a long, long time, and Keeper of Light having that ability, one of the many abilities on Spirit form, is just insane. T, by the way, is trying to do some Ninja Dragon stuff, but you know, he's got to be very careful who he's trying to gank.
Now, this is just going to be a bit of theorycraft since the game seems to be a bit of a lull. As Darkseid's finished up the Aga, I might think he wants to get level 16, but then again, they might want to use the Aegis up, and I don't think Darkseid will hit level 16 before that happens. Yeah, Aegis is actually going to time out very soon. Luna's going to retreat, BKB is going to be used, Anti-Mage not able to do too much, but that is going to be now a 5-second BKB, as that was a 6-second, so it's a bit of a longer cooldown. So the question is, do the Dire want to push in, as I think no Winner doesn't have buyback, and Shakiro does, has a gem as well for counter warding. But I was going to talk about something. Wisp in this game against Anti-Mage, since Anti-Mage's first pick. Do you think it should have been a Wisp pickup? Just to counter push, get the ganks going? And, you know, Wisp is, I think, he's still a really good hero, and you know, I think the Western teams might surprise the Asians a little bit.
I mean, judging how this game went in terms of like what happened in the first 25 minutes, Wisp is going to be very good for the Radiant team, considering when you're ahead, Wisp being able to infiltrate a jungle, like not giving a f about the wards, you know, in the entrance of the jungle is so important. Obviously, when you're winning, the outer towers are gone, makes TP defending a little bit more difficult. Wisp pushing high ground is actually not bad. The Wisp spirits give you sight, but more importantly, the tether and overcharge give you so much extra attack speed. Imagine attack speed on Luna. I mean, Wisp would have been a decent hero, not mostly for his relocate ability, because it's going to be hard to get a kill on Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage could just blink out. It's so hard to TP on top of him, especially when he gets the relocate notification on the minimap, and get a kill on him. But I think he's going to be more helpful in terms of breaking that high ground, because he's actually very, very powerful in doing that too.
And if Anti-Mage split push, you can teleport back if you're not already being engaged, as Anti-Mage going to blink backwards. But I see what the Raiding are waiting for. They're waiting for the glyph to be back up. And now that the glyph's back up, they're going to push in, as now they can survive a bit of harassment.
Oh
Luna's going to get the teleport right in front of Anti-Mage's face, and they're going to be pushing in without a Luna. She can't boost a child in, there's no coddle. And it's going to be Anti-Mage teleporting back, wall's getting dropped, and that means Aegis will be lost as Darkseer will be picked off. Shackle once again playing such a big role in these engagements, delaying the push as Chen nicely destroys the gem, but still A huge mistake by the Luna right there.
Yeah, I mean, TPing in front of the anti-mage, a big mistake, but also like the choice of his creep to TP, which was leading the charge, immediately got power shot and nuke down. I mean, even if the void didn't cancel it, the nukes would have by destroying that creep, and a big loss here. Chen is dead, Darkseer is dead, and suddenly the creep equilibrium they've been managing so difficult to push out in every single lane now gets pushed in every single lane. Roshan's gonna be in back in a couple of minutes, but for now they gotta worry about at least for that tier 2. Anti-mage at this point here, another 4.5k here. Hard, I imagine it's going to be the item choice, but if you want to go for MKB for that Luna, it's going to be absolutely fine because Luna almost going to try to work on her butterfly. But yeah, this game not looking good here for Winter's team.
Yep,
Uh-oh.
as the sound
Anti-mage?
is going to go on. That is the real anti-mage, but they're not going to pursue. He's still very, very quick, 407 base movement speed. As the glyph is going to be used essentially for nothing. A little bit of a misglyph right there. Maybe just a little bit of a sign of nerves, just a little bit of miscommunication, a little bit of misjudgment. But that glyph is going to cost them because that means they can't push in for the next 5 minutes. That's
Oh.
what they're waiting for last time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the glyph would have made a difference. I mean, they would have delayed anti-mage for a couple more minutes, but the thing right now is that anti-mage doesn't even have to do these sneaky games. Like, he doesn't have to split push anymore. He could just lead his team and take you on 5v5, and I don't know that the Radiant team could win that 5v5. In fact, I don't think so. So, at this point, they gotta somehow get stronger items, and it's gonna come to that Darkseer, the Axe Scepter already being very helpful. If this game goes long enough and Darkseer gets, let's say, well, I think he should pick up a Ghost Scepter right now, because despite having 4 nukers on the dire side, look at that Shackle against a Chen on high ground to low ground. Chen is just getting trolled on right now. But I think Ghost Scepter might be the item he needs against Anti-Mage for the Darkseer.
Ohio picks up the Scythe of Vice, so now Hex is an option. Keep in mind, 5-second BKB at this point, you can pretty much just outlast Luna and then wait for the BKB to over, and then just get her with the Hex. Meanwhile, Chen picks up the Necrobook level 2. If they manage to get the level 3 Necrobook, then 600 pure damage against Anti-Mage without a heart or BKB. He is going to go for heart, but still, 600 pure damage against Anti-Mage is a hefty chunk, because Anti-Mage will probably cleave it down with something like a Battle Fury. But if he gets a BKB again, that damage is going to be null and void, as Anti-Mage might get caught out. Penitent's going to be used, but he still has Manta if he really gets out of trouble. Going to pop it right now, and should be just fine. He's going to keep the split push going. Radiant going to angrily clean up those illusions with a vengeance. As meanwhile, Darkseer by himself are going to keep back the Dire squad. Going to pop the pipe, and they're going to have to go back to base, but still, it's very, very difficult position for the Radiant to be in, especially with the glyph down.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Necrobook popping, I think probably if you could distribute the damage however you want, you might be better if you kill off the Twin-Head Dragon. I don't think despite the 600 pure damage, it's going to make a dent on that Queen of Pain, who, by the way, has that BKB for a long time, as well as an Anti-Mage. If you could kill a Rubik or something like that, or kill a Twin-Head Dragon because they're, blowing their AoE around, you'll be pretty happy. At this point here, Chen, he's a joke. He can't do anything aside from popping a mech and maybe save a hero from time to time. But for the most part, yeah, he's mostly really playing a heavy-duty support role in terms of what he contribute in the team fight, as well as like actual morale for the team. Like he just does nothing.
Excellent on the Darkseer, because there is a smoke gang. Darkseer might be in a bit of trouble. Royal Surge away, Queen of Pain not going to use her Aghanim Scepter ultimate. It was on cooldown, as Anti-Mage going to wrap around. The illusions do timeout, as the Dire going to go in for that Roshan kill. The smoke going to use just to keep back the Queen of Pain, who's doing her split pushing on her own right. Going to just BKB teleport out of there. The damage going to come in just barely, not enough, as Chen, if he was there, could have made the difference. But as it is, it's going to be an Aegis for the Dire. Actually, it's being cleaned up very slowly. A lot of bashes, I imagine, as the Urn...
Uh-oh.
Oh no,
runs in
BKB
right now.
Luna.
2 people pops their BKB, pops their Manta, and looks like Anti-Mage got forced out here by the Eclipse. So now the Luna's gonna pick up the BKB as well as the Cheese. I was gonna say if Queen of Pain died right there, it would have been complete worth it because they would have secured the Aegis. Right now, ZXC just get melted. Right now, Queen of Pain though, BKB on cooldown. There's a whopping drop backing backwards as well. Suddenly, Neo Dota not playing the 5-man Dota they've been playing very well for the past 42 minutes. Everybody's dead. Double buyback gets forced out right now, but the Raxus are fully exposed. Hunt Trash player just backs off. He's TVing back up because
the Ancient.
Throne is in trouble.
Home is in trouble, winner.
Just going to it. That was a huge play for the Anti-Mage. He realized that despite the buyback, they wouldn't be able to defend the Raxus by himself. So, what's the best way to defend a Rax? Go for the Throne.
He didn't even buy back.
Yeah,
He didn't
worked.
die, so he just went in. So yeah, now he
No,
has.
the Rubik and Queen of Pay died in
Oh,
buyback.
okay. I
So
see.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean, even if they bought back, like having the entire enemy team right next to Rex, they probably would have been able to get a kill or two, but they would have lost a Rex for sure. So really, really smart play by Anti-Mage just going for the throne right then and there. Because any other move would have just made sure that they would have lost a Rex.
and Radiant. I mean, they could have had an option, but again, I feel like Glyph is more important in this game than other games, especially with the throne completely exposed. As I mean, that does give Radiant a bit of time. Darkseer will come back up, but again, there's that was one of their best openings in Anti-Mage. I don't know how it'll be shut down. They, I guess, may just farm an Abyssal. Like, what do you do against this Anti-Mage at this point? Because
I really thought the Darkseer, the wall was nice, but I think having a Scythe of Vice is more important because the wall means you can have a better team fight, but team fight isn't the issue right now. I feel like if you can't actually kill the anti-mage, you can't win this game. Period. Unless you know random stuff like that last Roshan engagement happened. If the game just progress a very slow and steady pace, and if you don't find a way to kill the anti-mage, you're not gonna win the game. Anti-mage is the strongest hero by far on the map right now. He has the most farm, and Luna can't even take him in a 1v1 fight. Although, with that said, last team fight in that Roshan pit,
oh, Luna,
forced out.
is this? This shouldn't be an MKB, even though there's a butterfly. This should be a rapier.
It could be MKB, actually.
It could be, but I think rapier is better.
Well, Rapier is always better, I agree. But
Why not both?
actually, Shadow Demon has 2k up as we saw somebody just died immediately. That was a Chen. I hope he doesn't actually make a Rod of Atos with an extra 2k. That would be a very sad life.
It's gonna be buyback into Atos. Yo, best way to slot an anti-mage is 60% movement speed for 3-4 seconds.
If he has enough gold to get Heaven's Outbreak, I think that's the item you go for, but obviously does not. Luna gets picked up on the mid lane, Cyber Vice down. Not exactly the perfect chain stun here, but you didn't have enough damage. Obviously not here. Vacuum with the wall drop down here.
The throne, anti-mage! Why you gotta be like this, bro? As he's gonna chip away another 50% of the HP. Wall gonna be down, and now the Dire, if they want to fight, I think they can, because Wall will last for another 25-30 seconds, but once that's over, really not too much that the Rain can do in a team fight, in my opinion.
Queen of Pain says, no team fight for us right now. Blinks on Earth. TP's back on the bot lane, clears away with one Sonic's wave. Again, there's really no reason for them to fight because Luna does have the Aegis Immortal. They could just really wait for 6 more minutes or whatever left of that Aegis, 3 more minutes, I imagine, and push then. And of course, Anti-Mage, if he finds that backdoor opportunity, he will continue to do so. Anti-Mage just accruing gold everywhere he go, up to another 4k, could start dropping that treads for a boot to travel, and you know who knows what he's gonna get after that.
I mean, never say never, especially since we've seen the Team Liquid versus Mouse game. Maybe Anti-Mage will catch a bad case of Black Death and just suicide a couple of times, not split push. But so far, he's not making any mistakes. But anyway, if you want to check out that game, it's on Luminous' channel.
Yeah, it was a little bit of black magic in that game.
Yo,
Just
the
leave it at
Black
that.
Death infected mouse.
Yeah, not enough soul power there either. Damn.
Damn. Anyway,
Luna, I hope that's a Divine Rapier. The thing about Glaive bounces is I don't think evasions work against bounces. I'm not sure on that.
I don't know if I care about Glaive bouncing on Invasion. I think
No,
I
no,
think you're
no.
right.
Like if it does work and you get Divine, you don't have to focus the Anti-Mage, and the Glaive will kill Anti-Mage. You know what I mean? If
Oh,
evasion
that
doesn't
is true.
actually,
That is true.
like, you actually do more damage if you don't actually target Anti-Mage. That's so dumb. But I'm not sure if it does work. So.
Oh man, Edge 4, 3,
Oh,
and
they're
9.
gonna try to go for a kill on that Luna. Yeah, if they want to kill Luna, you gotta chain stun her perfectly because she is fairly tanky, especially with a hand of guy coming in. But for now, she's pretty maxed out. I guess if she has the gold very very quickly, you do go for the divine because she has the Aegis. But that Aegis also is gonna run out soon, so I'm not sure what you go for here.
Well, Hex has been finished by the Darkseer, and as long as Anti-Mage doesn't have BKB, as long as he can kill those Manta illusions or prevent him from splitting altogether, that is an option. As Anti-Mage is going to continue to farm, will he actually go for BKB in this game? That's the question. I think he'll have to once he sees this Scythe device up on the Seer.
I actually like Lincoln's a lot on anti-mage, but that's just me because I feel like I know this is I'm quoting Hobbes, and when you're quoting Hobbes, like things are going wrong. But Hobbs once said, and it made a lot of sense, is that Lincoln's might be one of the better late game items defensively because Scythe of Vice is what reigns a day, and if there's only one Scythe on the enemy team, sometimes linking with Lincoln's is decent. And what other single target spell is there? Like a Purge?
Silence
ST
can be
Disrupt?
dispelled.
Yeah.
Purge can be, run out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an option. But does he want the HP against Luna? I mean, he has a heart, but a little bit more HP.
He's a 2800 with 30% evasion. I think effective HP wise he's okay, but
Yeah,
I highly doubt it's gonna be.
It's gonna be the MKB. I'm sad.
Oh, back in the middle here, Scythe of Vice here against the Winner gets forced back. Queen of Pain blinks back out. Vacuum does have a fairly long cooldown. Anti-Mage, he has found your throne. He knows where that lives. You better send at least 2 or 3 people to TP back. Luna's here, but no F given by the Anti-Mage. Illusions get popped. Those illusions running in, just chipping at the Ancients.
Yo, Anti-Mage the new PL in this game.
And Anti-Mage better than PL. If the game is, well, I don't know about that. Uh-oh. Darkseer.
Darkseer. Say it ain't so, my friend. No! Winter! Your life is in trouble, as well as your home. Oh, Hex.
He's
No
losing
damage.
a lot of HP. There's a Hex. Where's the stop on the... Oh, no. The Chen had 2 Centaurs there. If he got a single stomped off, the Anti-Mage would have been dead. I know he ended up with like 1500 HP, but his mana would have got burnt out by the 2 Shadow Demon's illusion, and he would not have blinked, and that would have been dead.
I feel like this Chen is just getting, like, mind broken.
This Chen is like, might as well play with his hands off the keyboard because
If this is Ling, I'm a bit disappointed.
I don't blame him. You're playing for the past 30 minutes where you just can't do anything.
That's true, and you're playing Chen, a micro-intensive hero, for 50
For
minutes.
30 minutes,
50
and you're
minutes
crying.
in this game. It's just... Yeah, I guess I can sort of... I mean, if I was playing Chen, I'd just,
I would have just left
I'd just
by now.
AFK in the fountain.
Exactly. Because sure control of your teammates is like, all right, you know this ultimate button, you can press it whenever you're getting in trouble. Like,
Gives you 300 HP.
yep. Which don't mean jack, by the way, for anybody that's wondering. And it looks like it is going to be an MKB finished. Luna putting out that last item, going to be a Morbid Mass Satanic, which it's a very respectable last slot item. Just don't think the item will win you the game.
Well, maybe they feel Darkseer is the true carry. Which is
Might
the
as well.
case.
Darkseer and Night Stalker. Night Stalker does have that basher, so he has a BKB too. So
Needs second BKB as well.
Yeah, he's not a non-factor. I just think, don't get me wrong, Radiant could still very easily win this game, but if they end up winning the game, it's not because they won the
Surge
game.
forward
It's because
onto... Oh, he disrupts the correct anti-mage as the Hex does find Ketchik Imba. You dead, son.
buyback?
He's gonna buy back, of course. He's gonna save it as long as
Not
possible.
buying back.
I mean, he has freaking 4.7k, so he will buy back. He hasn't died in a long time.
Actually, I wanna ask your opinion on this. In a situation like this, like your anti-mage you just died, not like a rage buyback in any sense, but do you just flat out buy back there simply because to make your buyback cooldown a little bit shorter, and more importantly, not to lose like quick delivery on the top lane like Lena is just really pushing right now? Or do you just try to, be Asian and be like, oh, if I don't need a buyback, I don't need a buyback?
Well, I guess in this situation with the creepy going, but they're just gonna send Luna forward. But in general, yeah, I guess it depends on the situation. In this situation, since the creepy equilibrium is so heavily on your side, do you really need to buy back when essentially you're playing against a Chen who's not that useful and a Xiaoyu and he can't really push that well? As I guess in this case, he doesn't feel the need to buy back, and Luna, being the only DPSer on the side of the rain other than Night Stalker in the daytime, you can't really blame him. As we're gonna see Twin Head Dragon be caught out. 30 seconds of Anti-Mage, his hand might be forced.
That means the buyback has to be forced right now. They're gonna just cut across the entire creep equilibrium. 24 seconds. Be as Asian as you want. You gotta buy out for this. Darkseer already going on the racks. Darkseer, by the way, doing a respectable damage. And disruption gonna be used. Pipe's gonna be used. He's not buying back.
He's gonna wait it out. I guess he feels since the throne's exposed, it doesn't matter how many Raxes he loses. But there's a point that, the glyph's always, it's up on the rating, and Luna's getting free gold at this point.
Well, you remember what I said about how the Radiant team could still win the game?
Yo,
Well-
Black Death? Black Death?
I don't know. I mean, on his next step, he'll still have buyback because he's just picked up a basher. He's gonna finish Abyssal. I mean, if he doesn't get caught out without buyback or by finishing that Abyssal, they should be fine. Look at how Radiant's playing. They've been down for a long time, but they're playing to the outs. They're not giving up. If they could pick off Anti-Mage right now and force him a buyback, they could buy themselves a lot of time.
And also, to be fair, as soon as N2H split, Winter somehow disrupted the correct one. I think there was like half a second where they might have seen the movement, but still, disruption has a half a second casting time. It seems like, well, it's pretty instant for the most part. As Roshan will be cleared up, the question is, no, N2H won't be able to get the push going as fast.
Anti-Mage's going for the throne. Like,
Oh,
we don't
Roshan
care.
with these bashes.
Well,
gonna
here
have
we
to
go.
spend some
Darkseer
time.
picks up the Aegis right now, but look at the throne right now. Glyph is going to get forced out. Anti-Mage is going to get disrupted. No, he got the wrong one. On my theory of how he got the right one, I think how it works is, let's see, oh, Sicko's going to get picked off as he tries to TP back. I think if you have your disruption queued up and your hero's walking up to the Anti-Mage and Anti-Mage splits, like, you just find the right one. Because you targeted the main one before he slid. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I think that's how this works. So maybe that's how he found the right Anti-Mage.
Yeah, I guess in that situation, since he was teleporting back, he couldn't really have it selected.
Yeah.
So he got the wrong one. And also the blink was a bit too fast, so I think he could have gotten the right one anyway. But that is going to mean Glyph is down, so they're going to have to find Anti-Mage, but I guess, like you mentioned, he does have buybacks, and he'll have the Abyssal up very soon. Of course he won't buy it until he has Abyssal and buyback, since he still has a buyback up. So just going to see some more Farm Fest, as Night Stalker bought back, has the cheese. I think that buyback cost him about maybe 1.8k if you count the buyback as well as the gold loss, so he wouldn't have had Abyssal right there.
Yep. Also, the choice of well, I don't want to. It's not a choice of giving Darkseer to Aegis instead of Luna because Luna's stacked out. Luna, by this point, despite having 6 slot items, she's actually very squishy. Not even 2k HP, does have a decent amount of armor, but like the lifesteal is also very important. But the lifesteal giving her effective HP, that's only predicate on the fact that she's right-clicking, which against the disable power of the Dire team might not happen.
Meanwhile, 2 racks down. The Radiant want to clear up the Mega Creeps. Glyph, it is up on the Dire, but I think Anti-Mage, if it comes down to it, he will just go for the throne, not ignore, or just ignore the racks. He'll just
Yeah,
go for
Glyph
the
is
throne.
down, so.
And Glyph is up on the Dire.
Yep, it looks like this fight is going to be breaking out. The wall has been dropped right now. Looks like the Korean Pain going right on Sickle. And you can see Anti-Mage by the mini-map. He's going right in. Going in for the throne. And the Garrison Glyph finally being pressed out. Nobody's TPing back. There's one person TPing back. That's 007. He's trying to find the right one. He purged off one. Second TP gets back. That's going to be blinking out is the Anti-Mage. Meanwhile, because everybody retreated on the Radiant side, they did not get the racks. Got the tier 3 tower. Anti-Mage is going to be on the run. And he's going to be fine. At this point, I think the Dire team could just entire team smoke backdoor for their throne. I'm not even kidding. They could just win the game right there. Anti-Mage, by the way, picks up Abyssal. Does not have buyback. He does not have buyback. But I guess he feels safe enough.
Yeah, I mean, in the past 40 minutes, he's died once, maybe. So.
Well, do
his
you want to
positioning-
be that deaf to cost you the game?
Yeah, 50 keys.
50 keys. That's a lot of keys, man.
That could open, yo, mad bat bandanas. That's all I can say.
You could open some strange carriers. That's all I'm going to say.
You get, yeah, some of those couriers worth, you know, more than this tournament prize payout.
I agree.
To be fair, this tournament, it's, you know, it's awesome that high-level teams are participating in it in the Southeast Asian region, as they definitely want more tournaments, and they're getting it, as, yeah, Season 4 will be taking soon, I think next month, but as is, this is not Season 4, this is Season 3, Losers Bracket Finals, and ABC looking on the ropes, but again, if they can outlast the Glyph, they might be able to push in yet again, as the Glyph was forced, so the Glyph duration is actually short on the Dire, but we're going to see Dire clump up, as Rubik does not have buyback, Queen of Pain does have buyback, Winrunner should have buyback.
Scythe of Vice, Surge, Vacuum, everybody being dropped, but the double force staff being popped out here just well. The wall not going to do anything. Queen of Pain blinks around, taking the whole team to self-disrupt here. Queen of Pain blinks back out. Anti-Mage, look at the minimap, off to his tricks again.
Yep, the Rain, I guess they just want to fight when our wall is up, and then every time that happens, they're going to TP back, as the backdoor region is in place. Ketchik Imba forced to blink back out. Soul Catcher was on him, as the Rax or the throne is still remaining at the same amount of HP as ever. And we're going to see a dive pushing, but there is no wall online. NTH now with the travels, now going to split push bottom. Is there going to be a two-pronged attack? This might seal the end of the Radiance.
I think if the Radiant team can't kill the Anti-Mage, they can't. I think I said that like 20, 30 minutes ago. If they can't kill the Anti-Mage, they can't win the game because even if you 4-wipe the other guys, like even if the Dire lost all 4 of the heroes in that mid engagement, they actually still can't push because Anti-Mage will just throng you. So
Yeah, it's like the tier 4 towers are still at healthy HP on the Dire side.
right, right. So unless you kill the Anti-Mage, NeoDota is gonna win this game.
NeoEs.Orange. NeoDota's a website, dude. Come on,
All right, all right. I'm sorry. So I better see a second Staff of Ice or Abyssal Blade or anything to kill this AM. So far, I mean that's why I also say that I was very surprised to see him to finish the Abyssal, to go for the instead of getting the buyback. Obviously, he has buyback now. In fact, should you be getting Abyssal? The way that he's been
what's
playing.
What's the point? Just get.
Yeah, he's not. What do you get though? Like just
I
a
don't know,
regular
MKB?
damage item?
Or Abyssal does give you 100. So,
Yeah.
and you can't crit on buildings, you can't evade the buildings. I guess Abyssal is the best option. I mean, I don't know, there's no really good agility items as they're going to smoke up by the Dire. They're going to wrap around, going to be a two-pronged attack. No Anti-Mage going to teleport to the top lane. There are no barracks to go through. Glyph is going to be up, so that it does give Radiant a slight opening. Wall will be up as well. Blink Dagger up on the Darkseer, as well as the Hex. If he dies, doesn't have buyback, but if he dies, it doesn't matter anyway for the most part, as this could be the final battle, as if the Radiant win it, they do have another shot, as Luna does not have buyback. If she dies right here, that could be crucial, but she does have the finish satanic. That'll give her a lot of sustainability.
Ooh, Staff of Ice goes right on the Luna. Luna, look at the damage being done on it defensively. Disrupt. She's gonna pop that BKB and pop all of her ultimate. Wall gets dropped on basically
Ketchik
nothing.
Imba does not care about heroes. This guy. Glyph.
Yep.
Gotta use it. Gotta use the glyph. Gotta use
There's a
it.
Glyph right now. Orange. He's gonna blink onto the other side. Just playing a little bit of ring around the rose. He just does not care about the people hitting him and just finish the throne.
Mouse. All I can say, watch this game.
Well, PL needs to get a blink dagger. That's what I consider about what this game taught me. And yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a valiant effort shown by ABC, but in the end, I think the fact that they lost to tier 4s so early on cost them the game, as that was brutal. As I think if their tier 4 towers didn't die, they had a shot, but the fact that tier 4's towers died at like 25 minutes in the game pretty much sealed the defeat. As any last words?
No, for me it was that the Rax push on the bot where they used the Aegis and they got a tier 3 tower out of that. That was pushed because Anti-Mage also got the top Rax during that, and that really snowballed into the tier 4 eventually going down. Don't get me wrong, Anti-Mage played perfectly. I just felt like there was something, miscommunication, whatever the case might be, that stopped the Radiant team from pushing the Rax. Because item-wise, the fact that we're playing 5v4 with Darkseer, Pipe, and Mech up, and they can't actually break a high ground against the Anti-Mage that wasn't even there, I don't even know what they call it. So I think they just lost the game right there on that bot Rax push.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you next time. This has been B-Ball and Luminous, and yeah, good game overall. See ya. Peace.